Hello, my precious creations. I'm sure that many of you are excited to see Skirk release in 5.7. However, the leaks that we have received about her might not be what you expected. Based on the current info we have on her kit and gameplay mechanics, Skirk will be a cryo on-field main DPS who will use a sword. Her main source of damage will be through the use of enhanced normal attacks, which will scale off of her attack. These enhanced normal attacks can be obtained by casting her elemental skill, which will grant her an energy bar that might be similar to characters that enter the Night Soul state. Casting her elemental burst will consume all the energy mentioned earlier and will deal damage to enemies around. Every time the team triggers a cryo reaction, a sphere-like object called a void fissure will be created. A maximum of 3 can be created with a cooldown of 2.5 seconds, and using Skirk's charged attack to hit an enemy will absorb any nearby fissures, which will restore 8 serpents, guile per fissure, absorbed. For anyone wondering what Serpent's Guile is, I am not sure myself, but I assume that it will be the special type of energy Skirk will gain when activating her elemental skill. Moving on to Skirk's passive talent, any hydro or cryo damage dealt by a party member will grant her a stack of Styxian Crevice. This can be stacked a maximum of 3 times and will last 18 seconds. When under the glare of 7 phases state, each stack will boost Skirk's normal attack damage by 10%, 20%, and 70%, as well as her elemental burst damage by 5%, 15%, and 60% respectively, depending on the amount of stacks she has. However, you will not be able to gain a lot of these buffs if you decide not to play her with only hydro or cryo characters. Now, here is where we will cover some of the flaws in Skirk's kit. As we know, the new 5-star cryo support, Escoffier, who will be releasing the patch before, will have her full buffing capabilities restricted to only hydro and cryo team comps. Well, as for Skirk, new information, and the fact that Escoffier will probably be her best in slot support, suggests that she might also have the same restrictions. This means that Skirk will not be a flexible DPS, and if you were to run her with any other element, she can lose up to 30% of her damage. As of now, her best team will probably consist of either Furina, Escoffier, Yelan, or Shenhe, which is not really a lot to work with compared to other DPS units. We currently have very little information about Skirk's constellations, but based on what we have so far, her C1 will allow her charged attacks to do additional AoE damage when absorbing void fissures, and her C2 that was said to be underwhelming will help Skirk gain more special energy through her skill and increase the damage of her enhanced normal attacks. That is all the information we have about Skirk for now. My theory is that, although she might not have the best synergy with a lot of the current characters, I think we will see more options to choose from with the release of Nodcry and Snezhnaya. Please remember that these are still early, and everything is subject to change. As for the new Endgame mode coming out soon, it is said that it will feature bosses with tens of millions of HP. Thankfully, you will not be required to kill these bosses to get the full Primogem rewards, so it is likely that this will just be like a DPS check. Skirk should be able to, well in this game mode, due to the sheer amount of single-target damage she is able to put out. But apparently it is said that Neuvillette will not be good in this game mode, even with his best teams. Well, I guess Neuvillette mains will no longer be able to just spin him around and instantly clear everything, if this is true. Anyways, let me know what you think about this information. Will you guys still be pulling for Skirk? Let me know in the comments. Remember that even if these restrictions may have given you second thoughts about pulling for her, I don't advise on skipping if you really like the character. If you enjoyed this video, please consider liking and subscribing to support the channel. It is completely free and can always be undone later. And with that, I hope you all have an amazing day, and I'll see you next time.